Yes, people, we're back with another episode of the Online Health Business Podcast. All right. And if you are a PT, an aspiring online coach, and you really want to do this, you want to get your freedom back a little bit, free yourself from the gym floor that feels like a prison at times, but the online is just confusing you. Instagram is changing all the time, left, right, and center. You're seeing people go viral all the time, do the whole TikTok stuff, and you think, is this what I should be doing? Maybe you're not even good at that, or you feel like you're not good at those type of videos and shooting content, but this is where everyone's going. Does this now cancel you out of the online race? We're gonna tackle that today. So stay tuned. We're gonna make sure you got some gems and you know what to do, and that you're good. So, let's talk about it. Trending versus value, right? Which one should you be doing? I'm gonna throw at Javen first. What do you think of this topic? And have you spoke to people? Have they mentioned this?
I think one thing I've been getting into recently is just actually doing kind of both, to be honest. So you can use a trend, but then put the value within the trend, basically. But it all comes down to knowing your audience, because once you know your audience, you can then actually touch on what they're feeling and what their pain points are and deliver value specific to that. So I think there's both, but I think the issue that we face when we're mentoring PTs is, or some PTs is, they just want the vanity metrics.
Vanity metrics. What's vanity metrics for?
They want all the likes, all the comments, all the follows. That's what they're chasing. But if you've been in online coaching, we know that doesn't always equate to money. There's a lot of people that have hundreds of thousands of followers, but they're not generating income at all. They just got followers. So don't chase vanity metrics.
Yeah, because so you're saying that there's PTs out there, they're struggling with the online coaching. They're posting, or they've tried posting on Instagram. They haven't made a penny from it. But it's not necessarily because they haven't got a TikTok that's gone viral, or their page doesn't have 10,000 followers, right? What is it then, as opposed to that?
They're either not making offers, they're focusing too much on content almost. It's like I guess like an oxymoron almost to a degree. Because like they're focusing so much on content. Like, okay, I need to make sure I'm standing here. I need to make sure I got this music on the video. Like, it's almost like this hyper focus on trying to go viral, trying to get likes, trying to get your page seen by as many people as possible, that they lose sight of the goal. And, well, it depends what your goal is, but I think the goal is to build a profitable online coaching business that provides an income that allows me to leave the gym floor if you're aspiring to do so. So, yeah, man, it's just that hyper focus on getting views, man. Because, like, I'll bring it to a real story as well. So when I first started scaling my business and I was dealing with a lot of clients and I had too many to handle, I hired my first coach. And I learned a lot, man. Hiring taught me a lot. I hired my first coach. She was a woman. And I remember after like the first maybe 2 weeks of working together, I gave her like my blueprint on how I've gained 60 clients at the time. I had about 55 to 60 clients and it was just too much for me to handle. And I gave her like what I did, posting every day, stories every day, And it was hell. It was hell.
Why was it hell?
Because maybe in the first week, Jav, I'm just losing followers every time I post on a story.
So losing the precious followers.
Yeah, like, I did the post you told me to do, didn't get any likes. I'm just scratching my head like,
she couldn't take it.
You don't get it.
She couldn't take it.
And I'm like, so I had to explain to her like, yo, you've lost followers, cool. That's a good thing. Because those are the people in your audience that don't even want your service.
They're never gonna buy.
They don't need to be in your audience. So actually, because they're leaving, they're clearing themselves out, which actually is allowing your content to get pushed to the people that might care or probably do care. So, yeah, man, that relationship didn't end well.
All right, let's play both sides of the fence for those who are still on the other side and not completely bought in. If I have 10K, surely the person with 10K followers can make money. Like surely that someone got 10K followers is 10,000 people who potentially could buy my service. It looks appealing, surely, right? If I'm looking at a PT that has 10K followers and I'm someone that wants to buy versus someone who has 1,000. So shouldn't I chase the 10,000 followers?
There's a couple layers to this. Yes, they can make money if they know how to monetize their audience, but have you heard about the saying of having 1,000 true fans? That's all you need. You need 1,000 true fans, right? So an issue that can happen, especially if you go viral, is that if you go viral for a dancing TikTok, yeah, and this happens a lot on certain platforms that, push virality, they go viral for a dancing TikTok, but then they only came for the dance. They didn't come because you're a fitness coach or a PT or you provide that kind of value.
Yeah.
So the problem is when you're chasing these dancing videos, is that, yeah, you get engagement, you increase your audience, which you do need to increase your audience over time. You don't want to go too far left and be like, oh, I don't care, I'm just going to give value. You don't want to do a value vomit, as one of a guy on LinkedIn always says, don't do value vomits. But if it's the wrong audience,
what's the point of it?
there's no
Essentially,
point. Yeah, there's no.
well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have loads of followers that aren't making. They're making the same amount of as you are making. These people who are, if you're not making any money online. So, yeah, don't get caught up in the vanity metrics. Let's be very honest with you. You don't want to have 10K followers and your situation is the same.
Don't make sense.
And then even then, you get caught in what that girl got caught in, which is it's a psychological thing where you don't want to pitch your audience off.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose them by posting value, and that means you're a slave to your followers. They're just frozen. There's just a number on your screen that doesn't do nothing for you, yeah, and you're just scared of scaring them off or losing them off. So you got to kind of get out of that mind state and you got to turn it to business media. So I'm going to actually tell you the structure that I would take to, I just want to kind of give you that clarity because I know a lot of you, it's a big thing on your minds now. You're thinking, how should you actually do this? What content should you focus on? How should you go about this whole internet thing and marketing online? And I'm going to give you my strategy of what I think you should do. You're starting from zilch, sorry. And I'm going to ask Javen as well what his is, yeah? And then we'll kind of, give you that value and those gems there. So for me, personally, I would go value and outreach first, all right? So what does that mean? That means valuetainment, right? Valuable content that's valuable for your niche, so your specific target customer, things that are going to help them in their journey, things that are going to make you look like an authority to them. And this only comes from really knowing who they are. You have to know who they are, right? And do it in a style that is with the times. That's all you got to do, right? So, you're giving value, you're talking specifically to your niche. If your niche is the opposite of me, but your content applies to me, then you're kind of not talking to your niche enough, because art is still applying to me. So you got to single them out, but also focus on your outreach. And the whole reason that's my strategy that I recommend you is because I personally think that way, I know that way you can stack your money, essentially, build your income online and buy back your freedom, right? Build your income, buy back your freedom. What's the number one thing that we find PTs are struggling with?
Time.
They ain't got no time.
Ain't got no time.
You're
I could go in my DMs right now. Oh, I ain't got the time to build my online coaching.
You ain't got the time.
No time.
You ain't got the time. So what you're doing is you're in this universe where you're trying to build it online, but you're on the gym floor. You might even have to get a part-time job. So you can't be as active as, let me tell you, the people who they're not actually fitness professionals. They're just gymmers.
Yeah.
And these are a lot of the people who are going straight viral nowadays. The people who are not
so many videos.
Because they're not in the fitness world. They're not on the gym floor all the time. Do you get what I mean? They're not on the gym floor like you. They're maybe they've got a completely different job. They're in the corporate world or whatever, and they just go to the gym and they can focus because they're not reliant on that to make money. So they can just focus on specifically the content. You're in a different world, so you need to actually be talking to your target audience, building up your clients by outreaching and engaging with them. And then once you started to buy back some of your freedom, you can drop some in-person clients, maybe drop the ones that you don't like. Now you've freed up a lot of your time. Guess what? Now you can do a lot more of the viral and the value, straight value content. Mix it up
yeah.
and grow your audience. So that's the way I'd go about it, man. And what about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always got to lead with value, so it's always value first. But I think you need to find a way to make your value content engaging. So you want to stay away from just doing the typical how-to videos. And if you do a how-to video, you need to make the how-to video really, really specific and really niche down to the audience. And if you want to add a bit of entertainment in there, a bit of humor in there, you can do that. There's a lady on Instagram and TikTok, and I can't remember her name, but her name begins with a K. There's a black lady, and she does these, like, she kind of goes against the grain with, like, doing the reels and the short form content, but not in she doesn't do, like, trends. She'll do a talking video, but it'll be like she's talking to herself. You know, the people who do like the skits, but it'll be like a 2.5 minute skit. And you know, nowadays 2-minute videos on TikTok or Instagram, that's not getting views, but her thing's getting millions of views because she's storytelling. She's storytelling while giving value. So obviously, if you're starting out and you're busy, you ain't got time to be shooting these mad videos. But like, the point I'm making is she's doing something different with her value. So you've got to think, if you only can shoot 4 or 5 videos a week, you've got to think, how can I make my video different? So if you're just doing how to lose belly fat, the problem is a million coaches are doing how to lose belly fat. And I'm not speaking like I'm above you guys, because I've just looking back at my content, I was literally doing the same thing as well. I was doing how to lose belly fat, how to grow your biceps, how to get 6-pack abs. Like, I've done all of that. So now I know if I'm doing it again, I'm going to change it. I'm going to make it even more specific, you know? And it's going to be specific to my audience. So now, instead of being how to lose belly fat, it's how to lose belly fat as a former athlete who wants to get back in shape. Now it's a bit more targeted. And if you are a former athlete who wants to get back in shape, your subconscious hears that. It's like, oh, that's for me. That's for me.
100%.
Lead with value. I think if you have the time to make some viral stuff, do it, because we can't lie. You do need to increase your audience. You do need engagement. But that shouldn't be your focus. It should be something you can do on the side. And like you said, when you get the time, you built up value, you've done the outreach, and you've got leads, and you've got clients, and you've got money, because we need money. Money is a freedom thing. It gives you more freedom. Then you can, start doing the dancing TikToks and the trending sounds. But if you're doing trending sounds and you ain't got no money and you ain't even doing outreach, you're just playing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say about someone who said that, I'm not built for this dancing on TikTok stuff? As someone who's similar and says similar
things. I think, like, what you can do, the good thing about TikTok is there's a lot of ways you can research what's popping without having to dance. So the good thing is there's different ways to go viral now. So, like, I've got videos on TikTok specifically that I've got like over 500K, and I never danced once. Like, I can't dance, so man don't dance on TikTok. You get me? Like, man don't dance. So but TikTok, you can search things and you can just filter it by what's got the most views. So I'll search a specific topic. Like, for our niche now, right? I will literally search, lead generation. Then I filter it by what's got the most views.
Okay.
And I see what's getting millions of views. And it's just a guy talking in front of a camera, like, okay.
Yeah. So essentially, people are making excuses. If they say that, I don't want to dance, I don't want to do this, you're really making excuses, because it doesn't have to be
dancing. And of course, if you're just giving value, it's going to be a bit slower in terms of growth, because we've got to recognize what these platforms are. These platforms are not actually for business. They are for visual stimulation and entertainment. But we're using it for business because of how powerful it is. So it's not made for us to be giving out business lessons.
I used to think that, and the other day I was looking and I was realizing that, look, Instagram know that a big amount of their customers that are keeping the platform alive are the content creators and the business owners, essentially. So they know that, right? They know that. And I think the more important thing to kind of pay attention to is what you said earlier about, if you want to do the value, if you want to do it, but just be different. And there's a good book, actually, it's an interesting book called Get Different. It's by the same guy that wrote Profit First. Like, every business mentor you go to will tell you to read Profit First, right? Same guy that wrote that. And it's just talking about essentially marketing. And marketing is the same on whatever platform you go onto, right? You need to be different. You need to like strike attention. You need to call out make your audience feel an emotion. All these good the traditional marketing tactics. So I think that's another good another thing, right? You mentioned one thing about the searching what other people are doing well, and that's definitely a big one. One thing that's worked for me with videos that's done a bit better is just kind of like researching topics related to my niche and picking up things that are a bit wild that nobody's talking about. You know what I mean? So I did one based on like the Kardashians doing, taking some new weight loss pill. Nobody's really, really talking about that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, things like that as well. Just how can you be different? How can you stand out from the crowd? Yeah. Yeah. So all right, cool. So that's the main thing, right? So we said do the trending stuff if you have time for it, but lead with value. I think that's the common theme of what we said today. Lead with value. Outreach is very important. I think one thing I'll close on actually is when it comes to content, there was a time that my business was suffering because I was so infatuated and stuck on the whole content.
What, like trying to get it out, or like just recording all the time, or like?
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing, literally just thinking and knowing that I got to post consistently. What am I going to post? I need to do videos. I need to edit it and literally just focus on it so much that outreach was suffering. And yeah, business was suffering too. So I think you got to really find a way. The more important thing when you start, in my opinion, is to keep it natural and find your bag, essentially, for content. And that's how people like, the woman that you mentioned is probably able to churn out that content because she just does it in her way. So 2 minutes too, so maybe she does a little light edit and then that's it. We was talking about a coach the other day was looking at is that you had a private consultation with you, and I went on his profile and I see very relaxed, natural content, which you don't see. So that allows him to do well with his business, right? So essentially, lead with value. The trending stuff and adding that to your marketing toolbox can come later. So that's what I'm gonna wrap with. Jav, you got anything to give them?
The main thing is don't let this get in the way of your business. Like, don't chase the virality. Like, a lot of people think that because they get more likes or they get more views, that it equates to more money. It only equates to more money if you know how to monetize your audience and it's the right audience. So, like, don't get too gassed on this because like Michael said, it's business media. It's not social media anymore. Once you want to become an online coach and you're leaving the gym floor, it's no longer social media. Yeah. It's business media. Every conversation I have, I'm thinking about, okay, can I help you? Can we do business together? Everything I post is this going to help move my brand forward? Is this going to help my brand get a bit more recognized? And the virality is a part of it. But I'd rather a video that has lots of value go viral than me dancing in my pajamas on TikTok. Like, that's what I'd prefer. Because if a value video goes viral, then the people that come off the back of that are probably going to be people that are a bit more invested in the topic that you spoke about. So, of course, sometimes you do have to do a little bit of some of the funny stuff or whatever. Like, I'll do a meme one, like where, I'll make a funny noise in the background or whatever. But you ain't got to be jumping around dancing. I know you think that sometimes. You've probably been in that position. And if that's held you back from posting, I'm letting you know now you don't need to do that. You can still get views without doing that. But yeah, man, don't chase the vanity, man. Don't chase the vanity metrics. It's not about vanity. It's about business.
Don't chase it. It's about business. It's about business. And let me tell you something. Money can buy virality. I can tell you that for a fact. Money can buy virality.
How?
You build your business up to 100K followers, whatever, you could essentially pay for, what's it called, a blue tick, right? You could pay for a blue tick, right? Because publicity, whatever, there's ways to do it. You can get a PR service. You can pay for shout-outs. You can pay for collaborations, right? You can, when you're making money, you get in certain circles now. So now you can, naturally have these collaborations and your audience can grow naturally. I know a bunch of coaches that I just know about, and you would never have heard of them. They've got hundreds of thousands of followers, right? They've probably never been viral, never once been viral. And they've got posts, and we also know coaches who've got posts that have maybe got 200 likes. You will be watching this and think from that's nothing. You know, my cousin got 4,000 on their silly video, but from that 200 like post have made hundreds of thousands. There's coaches out there doing that, literally. So, you know, think of it like that as well, you know, and decide what side of the fence you're on based on your personality. If you're able to do that, if you're good with your tech a little bit, you got to be a bit good with tech, bro. You know, a little bit, you you got to know how to be, you know, if you're completely technophobe, whatnot, you might want to be doing those simple look into the camera videos and give it some real value and use your voice and use what you have. So pick which side of the fence you're going to go onto, but regardless, just build up your business. That's the most important thing.
1,000 true fans, man. 1,000 true fans.
1,000 true fans.
That's all you need.
You will take you where you want to go. So that's it. Trending versus value. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've got some value for you in our description of this, you know, podcast. I'll let Javem round it out because he knows these.
Yes. So actually, if you are someone that wants to improve your content, we've got our free social media content calendar in the description. I've put the link there. All we need is your email. We'll send that off. And on top of that, you know, if you are in a position as a coach where you don't know what to post, you are feeling like you got imposter syndrome, you don't feel confident in front of the camera to actually start posting consistently, then hit us up, man. Drop us a DM. Like, we're always open to talk, just to even give you just some free advice. Yeah, just to get you started. Because at the end of the day, you just need to get started. And by the time this is out, we're probably doing our 3-day workshop. So I'll put the link in the description for that as well. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you're on YouTube. All of this really helps push the podcast so that you can help a fellow PT. All right? It's the Online Health Business Academy. Coach Michael, Coach Jav. I did it the wrong way around. It doesn't matter. Peace.
Peace.